welcome to another episode of Melissa's Menu. For tonight's show, we'll be making, change of plans. Oh my goodness, does anyone have any matches? Okay, change of plans. Welcome to our Dinner in the Dark show. I know many of us lose power in the winter months from storms, and we never really know what to make, right? Some foods can spoil very fast, so how about using what's in your refrigerator and your pantry to make some super quick meals your whole family will love. You'd be surprised what you can make from ingredients in your pantry. These recipes do not require any kind of heat, stovetop, portable heating devices, etc. We are just cooking with our little, what is this called?
Lantern.
Our lantern and a couple candles as well. First up, we'll be making a bean and chicken salad. Ingredients are 2 cans of cannellini beans, rinsed and drained. You can actually use whatever beans that you might have in your pantry. I happen to have these on hand. We're using a bell pepper, a red onion, and a yellow summer squash. Other ingredients are some red wine vinegar. A lot of people have this right in their cabinets. Some Dijon, Grey Poupon Dijon mustard, salt and pepper, and some canned chicken actually. Obviously we're not going to use the chicken if you had it in your refrigerator because that would spoil. So we're using canned chicken. And then we'll have some lettuce over here in the corner. We'll tie that all together at the very end. So first I'm going to start by chopping my vegetables. I have a red onion. Just peel the skin and make sure that you can see enough to be chopping your vegetables. You don't want to chop your thumb off like I did before. No, that was my pinky. So just cut very slow, no rush. Be careful. We're adding this into our bowl right here. I love the color of the red onion. Next, we chop our red bell pepper. Bell peppers are so good for you, by the way, full of nutrients. And I've heard they're full of vitamin C. They're very good for you if you have a cold in the winter. So even if your power doesn't go out, eat some red bell peppers. All right, I'm just going to chop this. Same thing, just a rough chop. Okay, this in. If you don't have any canned chicken in your pantry, you could also use canned tuna. Works just as good. All right, have a pepper, and then of course our summer squash. You can use zucchini also if you have that. And I'm going to quarter these actually, because I like them in bite-sized pieces. You can do whatever you want. Okay, we have our vegetables in here. And then we're just going to add our beans as well. Again, these are 2 cans of cannellini beans that we're using. Super, super nutritious, by the way. These have been rinsed already. I'm just going to mix this up a little bit. So not only is this super easy to make, most likely you have most of these ingredients, if not all of them, already in your cupboard. And this is also very, very healthy. And your kids will like it too. Now we're just gonna make our sauce, our dressing, I should say. A 1/3 cup extra virgin olive oil. Goodness, it's hard to see. All right, I need my candle now because I can't see. That looks about right. I'm going to make this right in our large measuring cup here, just to make it easier. We're also taking some red wine vinegar, 3 tablespoons. Okay, 1 tablespoon Dijon mustard. This will not spoil, so feel free to use this if you haven't. A little bit later on, we'll talk about some temperatures in foods that will last and foods that won't last in your refrigerator. So, a little bit of pepper and a little bit of salt. And that's all, folks. You're just gonna whisk this together. We're going to pour the dressing right into our vegetables. Our bean salad. Oh, this looks wonderful. Oh, it smells really, really good. I can't wait to dig in. Now you can actually keep this in your refrigerator for an hour or two. Actually, no, you can't because you won't be using your refrigerator. You could actually pop this outside into your snowbank. That would work just as well to keep it cold, or you can just eat it at room temperature like I am going to do. Now from here, all we're doing is grabbing our lettuce. I have already chopped this romaine lettuce, beautiful, right here. Again, whatever lettuce you have in the fridge, you might have spinach leaves, iceberg, whatever. And that's it. We're going to pour this on. You can make this a vegetarian dish if you like without adding any tuna or canned chicken. And I'm going to actually add the chicken on top of this. Okay, check this out. This could feed easily a family of 6 even. Look at this gorgeous salad. We just made in what, 5 minutes? It has tons of proteins in it. It has your beans, your vegetables, and of course the canned chicken on top. Oh, it smells so good. All right, I'm gonna dig in and try this. Tastes like it comes from a restaurant. Really, really good. Next up are our peanut butter and granola wraps. Sounds great, right? This is a delicious twist on a classic lunchbox fare. Ingredients are cast of characters, peanut butter, granola cereal, chopped peanuts, some honey, dried cranberries, and some whole wheat tortillas right here. Okay, super simple again. You can send this off with your kids to school if you like. You can eat it while your power is out. Super easy and it tastes great. What we're doing first is taking 1 cup of granola, putting it into our bowl right here, which I've already done. Now I'm adding a cup of peanut butter. Peanut butter does not go bad if your power is out. Another staple ingredient that I bet all of you have in your cupboards. You can get pretty darn creative if your power is out. Believe it or not. I remember when I was a kid, I must have been maybe 8 or so. I think I was in the 2nd grade. And we had Hurricane Gloria. That was really the only hurricane that I remember growing up because we lost power for a whole week. My brother and I thought it was so cool because naturally we didn't have school for the whole week. We got to stay with my Grammy, who did have power up in northern Maine. And we lived in the southern part of the state, and we got hit pretty bad with it. And I remember my mom and dad looking through the, trying to salvage as much as they could from the refrigerator and the freezer and whatnot. And yeah, definitely not fun if your power goes out for more than a few hours. It's amazing how much we depend on our stovetop and our refrigerator and running water and that sort of thing. So these are great, great recipes for you to make when your power does go out. Okay, so we have a cup of peanut butter, a cup of our granola, and how many cups of peanuts do we need? Let me see here. I think just about maybe 1/4 cup peanuts. And we'll chop these. Find my measuring cup. Here it is. Doesn't have to be perfect. This is just about 1/4. Add this right in. Next, we are adding 2 tablespoons of honey. Another wonderful ingredient. Very, very healthy for you, by the way. And packs a punch. Tons of flavor. We are using just about 2 tablespoons of honey. All right. I am making quite the mess here. So let's add this, let's mix this together. Smells great. Let's stir in our dried cranberries. We've just about a 1/2 cup right here, dried cranberries. Gives it a nice color as well. Now, if you have any margarine or butter, pop open your refrigerator for just a quick second. Take that out of your refrigerator. I have some light butter spread right here that I had in my fridge. Just take a little bit, kind of smooth it out on your tortilla. If you don't have any of these, bread is just fine. These are actually pretty healthy for you. And then all we're going to do is just scoop in our mixture and roll it up. You can actually freeze these. These are great frozen. Tons of nutrition in these. So as you can see so far, these are relatively healthy recipes, which is even better. So let's roll this up. A little sticky here. Oh, yum, yum, yum. I am taking my knife, cutting this. Let's make 2 of these actually. Here's our first one. Let's make sure our camera can get a nice view of this. Look at this, beautiful. Let's make 1 more. The butter just makes it stick a little bit better. That's why. That's why we're using that. I'm telling you, parents, moms and dads out there, your kids are going to love this. What kid doesn't like peanut butter and jelly? It's very similar. In fact, you could probably use jelly in place, or you could actually add the jelly to it. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Peanut butter, we have peanuts, we have dried cranberries, we have honey, and we have granola cereal. You cannot go wrong. As you can see, this is very, very sticky. Actually, I'll make this one a little bit smaller. Kind of like little bite-sized pieces here. And there you have it. Take a look. Beautiful sandwiches. Oh, can't wait to try these. Put these on a plate for your family. They will no longer be in a bad mood that your power is out. They'll be too busy eating their granola and peanut butter wraps. Okay. Very good. Okay, we are up to our third recipe, Nutella S'mores. You know you love Nutella. Who doesn't? Love this stuff. It's this hazelnut chocolate spread, and it's to die for. And all we're using are 3 ingredients. Some fluff, our Nutella, and some graham crackers. And we're just gonna make some indoor s'mores. Yum, yum, yum. Now we know the kids are gonna be loving you for making these. Just spread some marshmallow. I should be using a different knife, but I'm not. Some Nutella. You could have these for dessert after you have your bean and chicken salad. And these are heavenly. And then just put our top on. Okay, right? This looks so good. I gotta try it. Yeah. What are you laughing at? So good. Okay, folks, we are up to our last recipe. It's called Blackout Pizza. I know it sounds a little strange, but it is delicious. Okay, our ingredients are a pizza crust that's already pre-made. We have some white beans. We have a can of diced tomatoes. We have tuna. We're also going to try the other half with our leftover canned chicken. Roasted red peppers, we'll be chopping these. Some oregano, dried thyme, salt, pepper, and some white wine vinegar. Okay, so let's begin with this recipe. First, we are putting our beans in the bowl. I already have these rinsed, drained and rinsed. These are cannellini beans again, so found this in my cupboard. We're using the beans. We are, what am I doing? Oh, I'm making my white sauce. I'm making the pizza sauce. We're adding 2 tablespoons of white wine vinegar. Okay, and we're just adding a little bit of salt and pepper. Just a pinch of each is fine. And let's also add our dry ingredients right now as well. Oh, it has a nice woodsy smell to it. Oregano, a half teaspoon, and a half teaspoon of dried thyme. Okay, and now we are simply mashing this together to make our sauce. If you have a potato masher, great. I forgot to bring mine tonight, so I'm just using my fork. Who says you can't have pizza when your power goes out? You certainly can. We're moving over here with our mixture. See how I have some chunks and then other pieces are nice and smooth. So you want a combination if you can. Move that out of the way and just kind of spread this, you know, as you would with regular pizza. Okay, looks good. Now let's work on our toppings. Back over here, we need to open our can of tomatoes. And you want to make sure these are rinsed, of course, and I'm sorry, not rinsed, drained. I'll put this right on the pizza now. I should have a bowl under me. We'll spread that out. Now it's beginning to look a lot more like a regular pizza. Okay, so we have our diced tomatoes. What else can we add? Let's chop up some roasted red peppers. These have a ton of flavor. I just bought a 7-ounce can of these. And just kind of give these a rough chop. This is something your kids can even help you assemble. Super easy. Move this over here and just spread it out like so. Okay. Now, I'm going to add half. One side is going to be tuna, and the other side will be our leftover canned chicken that we talked about and we used earlier. So we'll just put our tuna. I'm using a can of albacore. Whatever you have in your pantry is great. Again, these recipes are basically taking what you have in your cupboard and making the most of them. And as you can see, we've made 4 recipes, all with super simple ingredients that most likely you already have in your pantry. And now we'll do the chicken on this side over here. If you want just a vegetarian pizza, you don't have to put any of the tuna or the chicken on. And finally, for our last ingredient, it's actually Parmesan cheese. This is one of the only cheeses that you don't have to refrigerate. I did some research online about the different cheeses. So we're just sprinkling this on top. Love, love, love Parmesan cheese. Not your typical pizza cheese, I know, but it's very, very good. Wait till you try this. I have about a half cup, by the way. And that is it. No baking needed. Beautiful, right? I don't want to scratch my pan. Okay. All right, let's try this. Look at this beautiful pizza. And we made this with just our candles and our lantern here. You really don't need an oven for this. Okay, folks, so we are wrapping up the show, but I did want to leave you with some great tips and advice for when your power goes out. Keep flashlights where everyone knows where they are. You want to keep some extra batteries, of course, at all times. Candles as well as matches. Make sure they're out of reach of children. Stock your pantry with canned items such as beans. We talked about beans all night tonight. Several different kinds of beans. They're great for when the power goes out. Crackers are great. Tuna, canned chicken, canned fruit, and of course bottled water. And you definitely do not want to rely on the appearance or odor to check for spoilage. Even if it looks okay and it smells okay, it still may contain enough bacteria to make you sick. If it's warmer than 40 degrees in your refrigerator, toss it out. I like to say, when in doubt, throw it out. Foods with high bacterial growth are meats, fish, chicken, and of course dairy products. And foods that store in the refrigerator that are usually okay after several hours without power are hard cheeses such as Parmesan cheese that we use this evening, open containers of salad dressing, mayonnaise, barbecue sauce, and fruit juices. Aha! When your power is back on, check foods to determine their quality before they have a chance to cook down or refreeze. If they've warmed up, recooling will not ensure they're safe to eat. Also, keep in mind that you want to keep your refrigerator and your freezer doors closed as much as possible during a power outage to prevent cold air from escaping. Again, I know I said this earlier, but refrigerated foods are okay if they're kept at 40 degrees or lower. If the power is out for only a few hours and the doors kept closed, the food should remain at a proper temperature. During an extended outage, use perishable foods first from the refrigerator, second from your freezer, and then of course any non-perishable foods last. Keep an appliance thermometer in the refrigerator. If it registers higher than 40 degrees, your food will start to spoil. This is actually very interesting. A full freezer can remain at freezing temperature for about 2 full days, and a half freezer for about 1 day. If your freezer is not full, quickly group all your packages together in the freezer to keep them cold longer. Of course, you want to keep your chicken and your meat, your beef separated because you don't want the juices to contaminate other foods if they thaw out. That is all the time we have tonight, folks. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Melissa's Menu. I hope that you learned some great recipes tonight for when your power goes out this winter. Tune in next week to see what's cooking up on Melissa's Menu. And special thanks to A.L. Pedrozani and Sons Painting Contractors, Mike Mata, the California Plumber, and Emerald Landscape and Supply Company and their new location in Carver. Good night.